brilliant. New van time. And honest, this is cracking. But you know, it's not been a case of someone just going out and saying, oh, I like that van, let's get that one. There's been a load of effort going into this and lots of changes almost over a 2-year period, because we've looked at the science of this. In fact, that would be a good place to start. Let me ask you a question. What do you reckon the biggest risk to you is, an engineer? Well, you might be interested to know it's lifting and handling is the biggest risk of injury. But it's not just, it's in all industries. And when you look at the old concept, like the existing concept, when you think about it, you've got to go in and get all of the kit, haven't you? So, hey, do you know these like modern kitchens now, right? Can you remember when you open the door and you've got to pull about half a dozen things out to get a tin of beans or something like that? But the modern kitchens, everything comes to you. And that's the science that's gone into this. So it can help take the pressure off the body doing the job you're doing, where everything comes to you. But driving it as well, oh, this is better than my car. And there's like 60 billion gadgets on it. So what we want to do is have a look at changing and getting all the kit out of the existing vehicle into this one, because it's not as simple as what it's been in the past. You know, in the past you go, right, I can take all that kit off the top shelf and just hoy it into this one. Sorry, place, hoy's when you hoy it. Not as simple as this, because it's a new concept as well. And you know, guys, with a little bit of effort, honestly, ongoing, what a difference it's going to make on a day-to-day basis. Let's go and have a look, eh? Well, you know, when you look at this, when I open them up, I mean, it just looks so professional. You know, it's a great reflection of you and the service you provide. When you look at this, oh, and I know what you're going to say straight off. You said, my kit ain't going to fit in that. Honestly, it does, and some. You know, there's hundreds of you guys already done the changeover, and that's the concept of the day, learning from those changeovers to put it out so yours can be as seamless as possible. I mean, we've got the rack in here for all the plastic and the copper in there, the main ladders, but we've got rid of that dead space. See, in here, we've got all of these that actually come to you. And for the third one at the back, we've got that drags it out. So, as I said, there's a lot of thought gone into this. You've even got a couple of cracking tote boxes here to put all those big tools in. And then spaces here, the vacuum. But the idea is think of this as moving house, right? And anybody who's done it knows what I'm talking about. You don't actually, when the removal van turns up on the day, think, oh, I better start packing some stuff. Now's the time to sort things out. See, you're going to get a good few weeks notice of, right, your new vehicle's coming on this date. That's when we need to start. Yeah, and you're now sitting there thinking, oh, have I really got to start and sort? No, you don't have to. But what a difference it'll make on the day if you do. It's that cracking American saying, isn't it? Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. So start working through it, tidying up. You know, when some of those jobs have been postponed and you're being made to return the kit, now is the time to do it when you get that notification. You know, instead of having 16 toolboxes because you've got all of the materials in those, all your valves in the toolbox, they all fit in these. So you've just got the one toolbox. Get rid of the 15 axles. You know, just work it out and get a couple of rubble bags, because inevitably you will have some stuff left over. But where are you going to do this changeover? Talk to your manager. Work with him. Make sure you're starting to do the preparation for it and you've got the right time to do the changeover. And the place, work with them on that one. As I said, I think there's over 500 already done this, so we're not the only one going to be changing over. Your manager might go, I tell you exactly where you can go to do that. It might even be in the local meeting point. But work with him so we'd get it right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all the boxes out here. There's 25 of them. Get them laid out and see how we get all the kit from the existing van and stick them in here. So what the guys have found is this is the best way of doing it, because you can actually visualize what you've got. So think of this in the back of the vehicle, right? There's the top shelf. because the steps will go there. There's your middle shelf, there's your bottom shelf, so there's your 25 boxes, and there's the two big totes. But the interesting point is, the rear box, look, on the shelves, has no yellow handle on it. That's the one that you use the bar to pull out with. So common sense tells us straight off, the stuff we use very infrequently come in these ones. The stuff we're using on a fairly regular basis come in the front ones. And in some of them we've got these dividers. So that's my layout. So what I need to do now is visualise what goes in what. And you might do it parts, it might be manufacturing stuff. It's your choice, it's your van, it's your kit. So there's your visualisation. So what I want to do now is get the kit out and start filling this up. I bet you wish you could do as quick as that. Honest, it'll take you a little bit longer. But the engineer's done this for me. And do you know, it didn't really take that long. But if you see the layout, so this is the boxes on the bottom shelf, middle shelf and the top shelf. So this is the front because we've got the handles on it. And remember, the rear box is the one without the handles on. Now, an interesting point is, for the bottom shelf, there's not a lot of room between the top of this box, so make sure nothing comes above it. That one, there's a little bit more room, and the top one, there's extra room there. But really, it doesn't matter because we've got our electric meters, we've got the gas meters here. This is the front, so you normally think common sense would have more frequent stuff at the front. It doesn't really apply in this case, but I'll tell you what does apply: stop rotation. So that's probably why this engineer's only got one gas meter here, because that's in date. So when he restocks, make sure these all come to the front and the other ones go to the back. So stop rotation is really important. And then we've got most of the consumables here. Now the consumables, remember those blue trays you had on the side door, the last one? You might want to take advantage of these dividers because they now go in the back of the vehicle on these shelves. And you've got a cracking little chart on the door. So as you're actually loading this stuff in the transfer, you can put down what you've got in each one of these boxes on the shelves. So it's a great reference to go and get what you want. And then we've got the totes. I mean, there's no way these wet meters or the U16s are ever going to fit in there because you never get it in because of the height. But we hardly ever use any of them. It's very rare, so they're going in here. And you've also got some of the bigger tools and things like this. But the even better news about this vehicle is, it's not just two totes, you've actually got room for 4 of them. So you can actually get all your returns in those. So, got it laid out, know where it's going, let's get it in the vehicle. So there we are, all of that stuff on the floor is now in there. But the great thing about this is we've got rid of that dead space in the middle, because as I said at the beginning, this all comes to you. And look at getting these out from here, what you do is you all put it down there, because even with those 2 extra totes in there, nothing goes past that line. So all you ever need to do is pull out 2 of these boxes, and they've got those fabulous little grooves in there, so it's easy to slide them in and out. And then I can use this pole here to get the 3rd box. But when you're getting that, it just goes on the top of the box, on the top of the lip, but keep this up high so then it pulls it out nice and straight. And even if I was a stranger to this van, everything there tells me where everything is in there. So nothing ever needs to go on the floor. You know, when you had those big boxes last time, the amount of times people put it down, do something, go and trip over their own box. Nothing needs to go down there. It all stays in here. So we can get these back in there. We have our ladders down the side there. That's key to always get that pulled up at the end, because that stops them coming out though, yeah? So we've got the A-frame, we've got the telescopic, we've got the scales down here. Now, the scales do fit up here as well, but this engineer has decided he likes them there. He's got his soft stuff up here, all his rubbish. Now, interesting point though, if you've got the old scales, okay, make sure you get the upgrade to these new ones through your manager before your van arrives. We have a wing shelf here, has all the regulators on. But also bear in mind you've got access to this not only from the rear of the vehicle but from the side of the vehicle. So let's go and have a look at the side. Oh, and you've still got these bags on as well. So here we are, we have our shelves here, but you've got absolute great vision of what's there. And we've only got a couple of shelves in, and there has been a couple of comments, can we have a few more shelves for the consumables? But the trouble is, you go in and you're reaching and you're bashing your knuckles and cutting your hands, there's no need. There's still empty space here. You've got an oversized meter there, the regulars, brackets, empty shelves there, a few grab and goes here, USB charging point, toolboxes here, but everything is really simple. You've just got it there, pull, take and go. There's no reaching in anymore. It's ever so slight compromise here with the ladders. Now it's best to put them in here feet first, because the great thing is they're flat on the floor and they come exactly where the shelf is, so it's minimalistic. You can still get all the toolboxes in and out, one end down. And the reason for this is because before I had to stick them up on the top, but they say you never ever need to lift these ladders, because as you're bringing them in, you put the end down like that, pick the other end up and just slide them in. And the other thing here is you've got access from both sides. Or when you do slide them in, by the way, make sure you strap them in, you don't want them rattling around. Remember, as a driver, you're responsible for everything in the vehicle. And that's why this all comes in here, people going there, you never put loads in there and people in the back. But it's through here, you can get right through. So you can access this from either side, so you don't have to be in that line of traffic in those awkward situations. We move one little bag here so you can see me, but you can see how there's the pass-through. And the top shelf got some consumables here, but the other side was actually empty, and this is an organised van. So the changeover, well, the key points, what is it? Contact your manager, work with your manager. Make sure you prepare. You know, it's that great phrase I said, failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Get it set up before you come to the vehicle, before you get it. Organise it, get rid of any stuff that you don't need beforehand. Make sure you do it in the right place. And when you think about the materials, you know, the meters are always smaller going in than the ones out coming off. But you've got the space here in the totes to get those big ones off. So that's fantastic. Nothing need go on the floor. Even better still. Everything comes to you, so you don't have to go reaching in. So it's taking pressure off the body doing the job you're doing. This is all great news. And the vehicle itself, it's fabulous to drive. And the look of it is so professional, so it kind of reflects the job you do and the service you give. So for me, I think it's a win-win all round. And oh, can you imagine, right, when you get the next new vehicle, how quick that changeover is going to be? It's going to be like 10 minutes. You've got all the time in the world for your brew and your bit bait. Be safe, catch you soon.